So this video is by Royalty is Here. We watched him before.
You've been scouring the internet, you've come across a 3-letter string followed by a number of integers, or you've come across the creation assigned with that tag. Something like the shy guy that looks like XQC, but he's had the driest slot spins imaginable. Right, we're past the 15-second mark now, so I can say this. Or maybe the double D Wendigo, which if you saw in real life would make you either defecate pure concrete bricks, or become bricked up. But if you are that second option, you are...
Yep, knew it. People are just horny for that, especially when they figure out that thing, like, it's not even supposed to be female for a first fire. It's supposed to be just a monster, but we all know there's a lot of monster fuckers out there. Talking to you, Janet, or James, or John. I'm gonna start naming names, and people are gonna like comment down below. It's like, "Who's my name?" Hi.
a fairy. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. We do have counselling and therapy on this channel, but as long as I'm able to record it, it will not end up in a funny compilation video, I swear. Or maybe you've seen my favourite creation, the My Little Pony fleshlight that when used, drains that user of all life essence.
What?
The last one may have been a personal edition for no reason, but you get
the
point. Because this is SCP and it's seemingly taken the internet by storm. I guarantee every one of you has seen some reference of an SCP. It has quite literally been plastered on every corner of the internet, and the name is assimilated with these gruesome, paranormal, and borderline questionable entities. And as said, it is a
Just move on. I am moving on. I don't want to know. You people are weird. I really understand the type of headspace to find horror themes, sexually attractive monsters in general. You can at least understand. Then you haven't discovered the Dead by Daylight community.
Constantly active community that has seemingly thrived this past decade with these said monsters and the detailed stories that go along with them. But as I've said countless times, say it with me now, borderline childish adults, where there's a community this large, there is always some problems. And in this case, some infighting within the community. But first, going into this video...
Is there over 9,000 entries already? Because last time I remember it was like, I think 5,000? And that was probably 2 years ago. Now there's 9,000.
Yeah, I didn't really know entirely what an SCP was. I had a grasp of the concept and some of the lore, but got confused around the involvement of the community when it came to creating such creatures. So what is SCP and the community?
Thank you for the hydrate.
The site is experiencing multiple Keter and Euclid level containment breaches.
Well, the SCP or SCP Foundation, the acronym standing for Secure, Contain, Protect, is a fictional organization often associated with paranormal entities.
Teratophilia is a sexual attraction to monsters, deformed people, or other non-humanoids, or human entities. I see.
And activity, but the start to the SCP concept started in 2007 on, God forbid, of all places, a place that would probably be an SCP itself, 4chan. But the green texts are pretty entertaining. But it was started on a horror thread of 4chan as a creepypasta, displayed like a government document talking about this entity, in a report-like fashion, which is a format still used by this community to this day. And the original post was done by somebody called Wesley Williams, also known as Moto42. Wesley is credited as being the first person to create an SCP, and the creator of the whole concept. He probably didn't know that simply posting to 4chan that day would start an internet trend almost spanning 2 decades and becoming a topic that intrigues many and inspires others to create their own.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a shitpost. It wasn't supposed to be an actual thing. Then the person goes and sees this overnight and there's so many entries like, oh, what have I done? Or not, and not like in a whole panic of like, what have I done? It's, what have I done? Hold on.
But then again, he is a 4chan user, so degenerate. His original creation.
I went to 4chan once, or no, a few times, trying to get the gist of what's so popular about it, and I gotten bored, and then started playing video games again. And those was back when, you know, SCP was still, you know, probably a year out. I don't know. I was probably around like a young teenager at the time, going on 4chan, trying to see what the whole humbug was about. Not my thing.
Was SCP-173, which was very recognizable on the early days of YouTube, as there were a lot of videos and games centered around it. I recognize it from some early videos PewDiePie did. Yes, I'm showing my age. But what is the SCP Foundation? Well,
anyone remember PewDiePie? So post a video and suggestion. Hey, thanks. No, as people came from there. Mm-hmm. Wait, Peepo.
Well, the SCP Foundation is a concept responsible for protecting the wild against these SCPs akin to animals, individuals, objects, and are just general paranormal entities, or anything that breaks the natural law of things. Often the Secure, Contain, and Protect Foundation do their...
Oh, that dude. Or that thing. Okay, I remember. Is that Jacksepticeye? Wait, was it?
Days of YouTube, as there were a lot of videos and
oh yeah, that's Jack.
Games centered around it. I recognize it from some
actually
early
Sean.
Videos PewDiePie did. Yes, I'm showing my age. But what is the SCP?
Wait, is it Sean? I forgot his real name.
Foundation. Well, the SCP Foundation is a concept responsible for protecting the wild against these SCPs akin to animals, individuals, objects, and are just general paranormal entities,
okay,
or anything that breaks the natural law of things. Often the Secure, Contain, and Protect Foundation do their activities in entire secrecy, and employees of said organization are under strict rules to maintain said secrecy. If not, they may be just shot on sight, or turned into test subjects for the SCPs. But the concept is SCPs are often entities that if escaped would destroy the world or wreak havoc, and this organization is credited with containing and performing tests on said SCPs. The first SCP-173 had the unique ability that anybody looking at it would need to maintain eye contact with it, or it would essentially kill you. I wonder where they got that from.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe from the Doctor Who episode with the angels.
But things like...
Yep, called it. Not pre-washed. Pre-watched.
This inspire people to create their own creepy SCP and provide creative writing in the form of lore around it, in the form of things like abilities and its unique spin. But one thing I was wondering, why are there so many SCP numbers? And seen as though this is community run, why haven't people had duplicate numbers? Well, on the SCP wiki, if you wanted to create an SCP called, I don't know, like Cumfart, you would reserve that SCP number and you're giving a deadline to complete it. If not, your reservation is revoked and you lose your chance to have that number. But it doesn't stop there, because when you upload it and everyone thinks Cumfart is a terrible idea and the person that created it should have their member put in a guillotine, have their foreskin removed, turned into socks, and they should wear that for the rest of their life, but they also get a splash of sulfuric acid in the face.
What?
But worst of all, their SCP could get removed if enough people hate it, through the contribution of downvotes, kind of like Reddit. And if you get enough, your creation gets reviewed, and some cases it gets removed. And once again, you lose that number. But due to the fact it can be said this is community ran, it has led to some terrible concepts. I'm talking Borderlands live adaptation terrible.
Oh boy. When you get to these types of numbers, when it goes up to thousands, you're gonna get ones that are like it does exactly like SCP this number, but instead of kill people, they just paralyze them. And also it's a frog too.
First of all, there's SCP-597, called the Mother of Them All, which is essentially a pile of saggy, lactating tits. A group of areolas so saggy, it looks like somebody's testicles on a very warm morning. Its unique ability is that it just kind of tempts you into suck on the teat, and the
Can we not have your fetishes on a spooky government looking site, please? We already have enough of those as it is. Wanting to get with the monsters. We don't need actual glands of milk being sucked. Yeah.
milk is completely normal and you can sustain yourself on it, but you just have a weird obsession with sucking on this entity's tits. Yeah. Someone was definitely making that story with one hand. You have SCP-5167, which, get ready for this, is Among Us. If you haven't lost all interest in the concept already, your bar for entertainment and content is very low.
Wait. Are you serious?
It's essentially an SCP that plays Among Us and just exists on the server, and when talked to or prompted, it will go on a long spiel like, bro, we did not ask. Please stop yapping. Like, quite literally, it is just Among Us.
What? What? And they put this on the site?
You have SCP-7052, which is, get ready for this, you're essentially going to get whiplash from the amount of double take.
What could possibly give me whiplash about the milk and then Among Us?
Takes you're going to do when I say this. This SCP is the act of shoving spoons up your asshole.
The internet was a mistake.
Not the worst thing. Didn't give me whiplash, but it just gave me the whole why. SCP number 56879, chocolate pickle feet. Chocolate pickle feet is a foot made of chocolate and pickles that hops towards you. Every time you sneeze and it touches you, becomes amalgamated chocolate pickle person. Oh, don't give them ideas, Ivy. Do not give them ideas. I know that's not true. That it didn't go up that high. But don't give them ideas.
Peak fiction. And apparently if you shove enough of said spoons up your office, you gain paranormal and godlike powers. I hate I have to say this.
Wait, what?
But do not go into your kitchen and shove the Joji spoon up your 2.0 USB hole. It will not give you powers, just an embarrassing trip to the hospital. And 2, do not make an SCP based on what you do on a Friday night when you're home alone. You absolute degenerate.
I like rusty spoons.
You have SCP-16...
People really are posting their fetishes on here, aren't they?
6, who is a normal woman in her late 20s. Surprisingly, we're doing well here, but needs a small amount of semen to survive. How many of these people have got carpal tunnel or wanker's cramp from writing up these stories with one?
Oh, wait a minute. I know this one. Didn't she get reworked?
Hand. But with a community with such great creations, well, a majority are, the other are just degeneracy, there wouldn't be any problems of said community. Right? Right?
Yeah, no, the one 166, or I think that was, yeah, she was a succubus, but she was raised by nuns, never been seen by a man until an agent saw her and then immediately knew something was wrong and asked, hey, can we get a female agent over here? Which I think that's what was happening. I don't know, I think there was 2 or 3 other succubus or succubi, which is really weird, come to think of it. Why is there 3 different ones?
That agent apparently needed a pillow.
Well, at least they cut it to the whole something's wrong. I am getting hot for this 20-year-old. I need to go to the car, ask somebody, and then just deal with it on my own, okay? Just like, holy hell. Like, at least it's that instead of like the agent running in and then, yeah. At least we have a new street. Dream, stub this man's toes.
On top of the fact some of these SCPs have NSFW themes, and SCP in general has been plastered everywhere, from YouTube to TikTok, resulting in a majority of the fanbase being children who are little walking encyclopedias on almost every SCP. But on top of that, there is also a lot of infighting in the community.
Dream, disregard that order.
As almost all SCPs are community made, it provides a platform where people will critique others' designs and things like that SCP's abilities, something that grew since its origins on 4chan. Some people tying it down to its popularity on things like Tumblr. And due to the fact it did get popular on Tumblr, you had an increase of people making these SCPs, and obviously the quality of every SCP isn't going to be the same. Some have,
but we've gotten plenty of games and movie-like quality videos on YouTube. That is like awesome to see, and yet it got this.
Having stereotypical powers or taking from different forms of media, or just not trying to fall within the horror genre as it was initially. And you get some goofy SCPs like sticking a spoon up your ass. And you get certain people that think the newer SCPs are terrible and the older ones were way better. And the overall popularity of SCP has ruined it. But I saw one comment which made a lot of sense regarding this topic. It was the fact that the people on 4chan that started this, including the first creator, were experienced writers. So obviously the newer stuff is going to pale in comparison to the older stuff. But then again, this is a community-ran thing and started that way. It started as a creepypasta on the internet. We're not expecting some J.R.R. Tolkien level of writing. And yes,
yeah, just look at Jeff the Killer. That should not get as popular as it should, but it has gotten popular to the point where Jeff 1v1 Slender Man and was on par with him, but then lost, I think. And then we had, what, Jane the Killer? That was an experiment from the military that's supposed to hunt down Jeff. And then we have other SCP stuff, like, or not SCP, like other creepypasta stuff that has gotten very popular, like what was it? The whole Disney, the Disney Island thing. I forgot what it was, what had to do with it. You know, the one with Mickey Mouse ripping his own head off. At least someone dressed as in the costume. Or Squidward Sewer Slide. Like those are just mediocre at best. And it shouldn't be as popular, but look at it now, it got popular.
Since it has got popular, you have got people that are just making random ideas, especially kids, but it is a community-ran topic. It is not really regulated. So you aren't going to get some goofy ideas like somebody shoving a spoon up their ass, a pile of wrinkly tits, or heaven forbid, a woman that needs semen to survive. But you've also got the side of the community that treats SCPs like when you were a kid in a playground playing make-believe, and every time you shot them with a make-believe gun, they came up with the excuse they had a tier 3 ballistic vest with reinforced Kevlar, so the bullet actually didn't hit them, it just broke a few ribs and catapulted them towards the floor.
This is America.
I hated those kids growing up. Bit of a long anecdote, but basically in the community, you have people saying this SCP is better than that one, people making borderline world-ending SCPs, and trying to make the most powerful SCP.
Wait. Investigate if try flatten. Oh, okay, no, it's not this one.
As a goal, when none of this arguably was the intended goal of the community. It was just to make creepy copy pastas, not to be put up against each other like it's f***ing Pokemon.
SCP number 535,773.
Ain't that the truth? Wait. That is backwards. I'm not reading that.
SCP that can basically destroy the world with a flicker of their dick. And then you have the part of the community, probably the children, most probably the children, that think SCPs are real.
Oh, jeez. I almost forgot about the frickin' thing. Oh my god. Okay, so I think a year or two ago, people just now, just discovered SCP and thought, oh, it's real! The SCPs are real. Why is the government, why are they hiding it from us? Like, did you know there was a next step being Peanut, dude? That's just in there, or the fact that someone was all over. Yes, it is. Like, they thought it was real and it's not, which is funny to me.
Children
and I thought,
are idiots. Adults are worse.
People will believe in adults. Children are expected to have wild imaginations.
You have to have some sort of mental illness to think this is real. Like, you generally have some people asking if this is like a secret organization they don't want you to know about. And because it's a secret organization, people think that's some integrity towards the claim it must be real. The government must be covering this up. The government must be allowing 20 games to be made about it and a whole website. And there is definitely somebody in your kitchen shoving spoons up their ass right now. SCP is not real. Santa is there, Jeffrey Epstein is, P. Diddy is there, and the latter two are probably under your bed right now. I wouldn't look.
Huh?
But the funniest part is when people ask this online, there's a large amount of comments just messing with them, buying into the
Hold on, I
belief,
need to
which
check
is
that my
pure
spoons are
evil.
safe.
No, Stormy, no, this is a lie.
But kind of funny at the same time. But apart from the fact you have some SCP designs which are borderline questionable and have strayed from the original design of trying to be creepy, I actually enjoy the SCP community. Over my years, I've watched a plethora of the SCP community videos, from the creepy videos to just the explanation
Well,
videos on each
that's
SCP.
one way to kill a werewolf, I guess.
Because it's so large now and so mainstream, it obviously has affected somewhat the output of the community, as there is a lot of criticizing and gatekeeping. But once again, looking at the origin, this came from 4chan. We do not need to hold it to this standard. We may as well expect the level from each post to be posts. But yeah, bye-bye.
Oh, why did Jeez, that was a fast transition.
Chances are when you've been...
Alright, this is actually very informing. I do enjoy good royalties here every now and then. Alright. But yes, thank you. On to our next video, which I wanna see. No, I got a lot of royalties here. Um, I watched that even though we're close to starting for Kingdom Hearts. Oh, this is a little bit too high for us.
SCP number 18920 Crab Rave. What was once a Twitch staple is now a singular crab with one eye that will make you rave dance and a sudden hunger F.
Hunger for seafood. SCP is mostly harmless, but several people who raved did experience vomiting and nausea. You do realize that the crab rave on SCP is actually a thing. There actually is a crab rave in the SCP. I'm not even joking. I was pointed this out. I did not look on my own. It was there. It is. It's there. I'm not kidding you.
Wait, SCPs aren't real? Does that mean I can take the spoon out my...
Nymph. I know you're joking.
At this point, SCPs are like Rule 34. If it exists, there's an SCP of it.
Yep. If you can think of it, oh, it's there. Wait a minute. Are there any dragon girls on here?